So we went to dinner with my dad and my grandfather, and I was showing, and this is the first time I see my grandfather in like 3 months because of all the travel. So I'm showing him photos of like Papua New Guinea and stuff, and I'm telling him about buying wives. And at one point, he's like, "Oh, we should ask the restaurant if they have any pigs to buy some wives." Like really loudly. And then my dad was like, "You can't say that." like all embarrassed and whatever.
That's classic.
Because my grandfather's at that point where he just doesn't care. Like,
Yeah.
10 years ago, he was obnoxious with stuff and didn't care. But now he's like just gone further down that rabbit hole of just anything and whatever. So openly, at one point, he's like trying to yell out to the waiters, like, he went and saw pygmies in Papua. And there was another table that was looking over weirdly at us. But yeah, it is what it is.
Nice, yeah. You know, that's I'm looking forward to getting to that day myself when I'm that age.
Yeah.
Just out in public and just be like, whatever.
I mean, it kind of happened for me. I don't even know if I mentioned it in the last. Wait, no, this happened since the last one, where I was on the island forced to strip with the people.
Oh, I saw your coconut bikini.
Yeah, so that was pretty intense, and that was a wild. And so in the thing, they put like this like straw. Straw is probably like they put this like dress thing, like skirt thing around me, right? And the woman was literally like trying to yank at my shorts, and I said no, but like. Firstly, it's swimming, so a fair amount of people aren't going to wear underwear underneath their, like, a lot of people wear swimming shorts and nothing underneath it. Like, that's normal. It just is. So there's a good shot that if you do that to someone, and also, I should also mention, this is all in front of families too. It's not like an adults only place. This is so essentially. Like, there's a 50-50 chance that if they did that and the person wasn't on, also free alcohol at the thing too, right? So you could have a person who's drunk. So you mix all of this together, and there's got to be a time where this has happened, where they've done that to a person who just didn't care, and they're like, "Yep, here's my dick and balls on display," and there's families watching, and good luck to
That's why I'm not allowed to go back. Just all hanging out, and they were like, "Oh, and you want to cover it up? No, it's out now."
Hey, you did this, not me.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, this is the kind of service you're providing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild. Yeah, a lot of people, as you say, would end up with their junk out, and
yeah.
And all sorts of everything else. So,
but also even just pulling shorts down on someone, like, it's very easy for the underwear to go with it, and yeah,
it is. I mean, you know, you gotta be weary that could happen, and be like, you know, just chill out on the old pulling the shorts down.
But the thing is also, like, during the day in front of families, like, you're really risking it.
Yeah, 100%.
I reckon that someone has to have lost their shorts and
definitely 100%. And then you're going around being like, you know, I'm not the bad guy. They did it. Like, you could pull your shorts up.
You didn't have to take your underwear off afterwards. She managed to pull your shorts off perfectly fine, and then you
walk around to every
do a
family.
helicopter.
Yeah, but you could also, depending on who you are, be walking around to each family and be like, I just want to explain, I'm a grower, not a shower. So you could just bear that in mind.
Yeah. Kids, this is not normal. No, they're much bigger.
I just want to point out it's very, very cold here right now.
Yes, the sun is shining and it's very hot and we're all wearing sunscreen and yes, but it's hot. It's cold, I swear.
Yeah, right at that spot where I was standing, freezing cold.
Yeah. You stand in a straw skirt and tell me that it's not cold.
Exactly. So yeah, just so you guys know.
Or I feel like there's been a lot of ads for like these remote controlled sex toys online. So imagine if you were like in the midst of that and then have to explain.
Sir, please explain yourself. I will not. You look it up online like everyone else.
Hey, I didn't choose this life.
Just trying to enjoy my day, damn it.
And then it's just
yeah, fun times.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, those times are over. Like the travel for now. Got to get to editing. Back on the road again. Well, actually next week, but still, not only locally, not anywhere of this.
I mean, it's it's a good time to spend editing and then working out your next trip. I know there are plans afoot for the next few months. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Well,
fun.
I mean, I do have I don't know, a ton of videos. There are some that are going to be pretty wild.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, your videos that you're putting out are still in Vietnam, right? So
yeah, I haven't even finished with the Vietnam stuff. I still have like 3 or 4, depending even on how I edit them. Like I have one that I'm gonna make that is a combined thing of across several days of trying the local cuisine. But the whole thing is going to start with, here's my review of the local cuisine, and then it's McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut.
Nice.
And then we get into the more exotic stuff.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, McDonald's is different in every country I've ever been to. So
Somewhat. And sometimes it's the same. Even in New Caledonia, they have the Boss Burger.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's bloody expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, it was like 10 euros for a burger.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Not that they use euros despite being part of a European country.
Yeah, it's just another.
Although it would be fun to go there and me complaining that this is supposedly Europe and
it's all these French flags, but they don't take any fucking French euro money. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I was told this is Europe.
Yeah, exactly. You should complain. Write some TripAdvisor reviews.
I went here expecting Europe and was not given Europe.
Exactly. That's not on. It's kind of bad form.
Too polite. This is not French enough for my liking.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect people to be polite. This is not the experience I paid for.
It's actually was a bit weird because so we started talking to local people who were talking about like the undercurrent of like how there is a big like hatred of France there because like France conquered them and whatever, or like just claimed it as, I don't even know the background of how they did or whatever, but they sent all their prisoners there and France owns it or owned it or whatever the hell. But anyway, so France, like they don't want too many French people there and they don't want to make it easy for French citizens because they don't want it to become French. They want to like keep it as somewhat their own. But then, yeah, there's like all this tension over whatever. And then, yeah, even some random, but there seems to be like French people that go there for a whole month's holiday. There was one French guy who was like amazed that they have Indigenous people there and was asking if we have Indigenous people in Australia. And he was amazed when I said, "Oh yeah, of course we do." And then he's like, "Oh wow, and you can go visit them." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what their education system is like in France, but I mean, I knew that when I was educated in Ireland. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of basic that, like, yeah, it's oh yeah. I mean, most people know that there's Native Americans in the U.S. Like it,
Yep.
yeah. And I always find like the funny thing of like Europeans always being like against the US and like obnoxious, like arrogant about like, oh, the US or whatever. And like it's one thing to say that about the US, but like some of these European countries are like equally as shit and obnoxious tourists as well. And just rude people too. We like on the last one you were talking about like some French person who insisted on like ordering correctly. So we were playing pool in a pool place and like the guy was like, you're here, so you should speak French. And like it was joking at first, but then he said it again. And then we're like, oh yeah, yeah. And then he said it another time and you're like, well,
Yeah. Sorry, sir. How do I say fuck off in French?
yeah. Meanwhile, the guy's like talking about how like he does business with Australia and whatever. And it's like, well, if you're doing business with Australia, you should be understanding that there are people that speak different languages and like, yeah,
exactly. Yes. Yeah. See, that's the problem I've had in some countries is you do get kind of stuck up, arrogant people, and it tends to feel like it's the entire country that you're in or the entire province or whatever. Mostly when I go to France, so I'm not surprised.
But the thing is, it does really seem French, like a French thing. And then ironically, like after I did it multiple times where like people there were weird about French, and then like we landed in Australia and there was a local woman from New Caledonia who didn't understand like the going between buses in the airport. And she asked me and then she was like, oh, sorry, I don't speak French. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to, sorry, I don't speak English. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Just get on the bus.
I mean, it was that level of stupid as well, where like you go through and there's an area to sit and wait for the bus, and obviously the bus is not there, so we're sitting and waiting, and then she comes up and says, "Is this where you go to wait for the bus?" But like you come through a hallway where that is the only thing there. It's not like you could have gone somewhere else, and yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, in most airports, it's quite obvious where you're getting the bus from. Usually where all the other passengers are. So, they kind of point you in that direction.
But this is like a separate thing. Like you've gone through a separate security. So you're sitting in a room where the only thing is the bus. It's not even like you're part of the other part of anything else. Like, yeah. So you would have to be French to not know that this is where it is. Yeah. Also, we had like the most ridiculous thing on the plane where flying to New Caledonia, and this is where maybe France is better, or at least New Caledonia. I don't even know. France is probably the opposite anyway. But anyway, so flying to New Caledonia, you don't need to wear a mask. But flying to Australia, you have to wear a mask. Even though they'd announced that they were removing the mask thing, so they decided that you don't need masks from like 2 days later, but at that day, you still needed a mask. So you have to wear a mask on the plane the whole way. On the same flight that on the way there, you don't have to wear a mask. And then you go, and as soon as you get off the plane, you don't have to wear a mask.
You can take your mask off. So just wear it on the plane and then take it off when you get off the plane.
And then sit on a bus with the same people where you're even tighter area and space where it's worse, but you don't have to wear a mask. Just for logic's sake.
Yeah, just to make sense and, make sure everyone's doing the right thing with their masks and so forth. Just.
Well, and the stupidest thing is that like they were actively enforcing it as well. Like at a stupid level of you take a sip of your drink and then they're like, put your mask back on. And it's like, well, tomorrow I don't need to wear this mask in this same flight in the same seat. But today there's somehow the virus knows that tomorrow it's okay. But today the virus is out.
The time was running out, so there was still 24 hours left of viral contagion.
Yeah.
Next day, though, no, it's fine.
Yeah. And then as soon as you get on that bus, you're good.
Oh yeah, buses are fine. That's no worries.
Yeah, buses, no issues. But also on the plane was amazingly. So we spoke last week about the unbearable weight of talent or whatever, the Nicolas Cage movie. Yeah, and that was on the plane, so I watched that.
Sweet.
By complete irony and just randomly that we'd spoken about it last week.
Yeah, what a movie.
Yeah. It's actually amazing movie. Like,
it's pretty fun. It's one of those, like, it doesn't take itself seriously, so it for once, so it's just you can just enjoy it as a piss take or whatever. That was good. So. Yeah.
I'd like to see them go deeper though, and just take more and more out of the. Yeah. It could have gone multiple layers, and I like partway through at the start, I was hoping that the CIA people weren't actually CIA, and there's going to be like a double cross, but then they turn out to be CIA. Spoiler alert! So like, yeah.
They do, yeah. I remember thinking something similar along the time. Like, it'd be really funny if this was just like this was all just a movie, but Nicolas Cage thought it was real, something, and like was playing it like it was real, staying in character and everything through when he called cut. But yeah, no, still, it was enjoyable. Something like the weird thing was when he starts making out himself in the bar.
Yeah. The double Nick Cage thing is. Yeah,
just came out of nowhere. He's just like, it's like, all right, good.
I mean, the other Nick Cage being wild was good for the thing, but it's still just bit weird.
A little bit.
But now I feel the unbearable weight of talent on myself. Ever since I watched that, I've been going through life worrying about my unbearable weight of talent.
I'm sure. It's a tough road for you to travel, but hey, someone's got to do it. So
someone has to. That is me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like off kissing myself in the corner.
It's not the first time. Let's be honest.
You know what would be fun to do to make that in real life? So it's a movie that's a real life version of that, where you're just randomly sitting in a restaurant and you start like arguing with yourself. I'm Nick Cage, damn it, I should do this.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Well, let's get into some articles. So, sure. The Queen has written a secret letter that's hidden in a vault and can't be opened for 63 years. Do you want to take a guess of what's in that letter?
It's the password phrase thing that she needs to access her crypto on her cold storage. So just no one's gonna. She's like, in 63 years, this shit's gonna be worth billions.
Where she bought a whole bunch of Bored Ape yacht. Club.
Yeah. It's all on a Ledger Nano, and they need this letter to open it or to access it. So that's what it is. I feel either that or it's some sort of secrets, about some affairs she had.
Her bank code.
Yeah. But now we know because we covered stories about a certain prince at one point who is now a king. Yes. We know quite a lot about the ins and outs. So maybe she has spilled some further details, and actually has worked out exactly how long we're going to live, and that's when the letter gets released. So we got probably another 63 years each.
Yeah, imagine she's written like on there that tomorrow the world ends, and it's like they open the thing and it's like, oh, what? There's like 100 things that are accurate over the last 100 years that prove that she knows what's going on, and then it's like, and then the world ends. She's like, Joe from number 64, whatever, is going to win the lottery on December 13th, 2035.
Good for Joe. Yeah. Like
nice. Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl in 2036 by 12 points.
Yeah. Could happen.
It's just her sports picks for the week.
I would really love it if she was just fucking with the world 63 years in the future and it's just like had put all this like fake shit into it. It's like, or sets up something like, you know, I've left £1 billion in this location, but then like that part is just faded out, like the biro ran out of ink, and it's like, oh shit.
Or it's like a story of like the like her best sex experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I had,
it's like the lyrics to
affairs during my marriage with these people.
He was 6 inches. She was a bit dry for my liking.
In a royal manner, we just pretended everyone was a rocking horse.
It's just there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in Buckingham House.
Absolutely, it's nice. I like I like what it could be. Like it could literally be a fucking shopping list.
I bet it's gonna be junk.
Oh,
it'd
probably
be some like stupid motivational. You can do it. I'm excited for the way the world comes. Technology, blah blah blah.
I mean, like, even if people remember and open the vault and read this fucking letter, it's going to be like her grandkids who probably are too young to remember her in 63 years' time. And will be like, some crazy old bitch wrote a letter. Better fucking read. And then they read it and are like, whatever. So
well, it was originally penned in 36 years ago, so it's 100 years, so that's why there's 63 left. But yeah, be funny if she wrote one in like 1910 and it's like written in like that back old then, and it's like just racist and sexist and
I mean, there's still a good chance there is. Yeah, back in the 80s, you know, Britain was a pretty racist place. It still is. So I feel like there's a lot of possibilities there.
She's like complaining about like countries that have left the monarchy and whatever. Like, we used to own you people.
She's gonna be like, fuck the Irish. Yeah. And we'll be there going, how'd that work out for you?
Go eat a potato.
But we will.
You know, it's funny, on the radio I heard when they were announced, well, like when she died, the radio is doing their whatever stuff, and then they're like, oh, there's been these sad notes from Ireland, and I'm thinking that doesn't seem so right. And then the next day I read that there was at some game there was Irish people chanting something about it. It wasn't too kind.
Yes, Shamrock Rovers fans were in jovial mood on Thursday evening and enjoying their game with some, I think, Bulgarian team, and then they ripped out this song about, which I will not repeat because we'll probably get taken down off YouTube.
Yes, definitely wrong.
Yeah, it's good fun though. Yeah, but hey, you know, people have had a lot of fun with it for the last few days. Like, just poking fun, joking around, you know, just bringing up the 800 years of oppression that Irish people had to go through. You know, nothing too serious. Just fuck you guys. That's all. But yeah, so it's, it's been weird because like it seems like half the world is mourning and the other half is like, fucking finally, or we don't give a shit.
No, I mean everyone's celebrating the excitement of King whatever his name is, King William.
Yeah,
he's King Charles.
King Charles, yeah, named after a breed of dog, which is good. Yeah,
finally the men are back in charge is all I say.
Yeah, it's time for some testosterone on the crown.
Yeah, bring back the patriarchy.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be funny if her letter just ends with, "And I hope that we have returned to a divided island."
I just really hope it says something along the lines of 4 pounds of butter, 2 pounds of flour, and just like a recipe for a cake or some shit is what I want. And then someone's like, "Oh, secret meaning cake," and they just make a fucking cake, and they're like, "Oh."
Yeah, hopefully she just wrote random numbers and then people are like trying to decipher it like the the Zodiac killer.
Oh yeah.
And then 100 years down the track they're still trying to figure it out. And
I hope that's what it is. She's like, "I discovered who the Zodiac killer was."
Or she was the Zodiac killer and this is her admission.
All those murders in America? That was me. Nobody suspected it.
How did we not look at the fact that she was in this country in the same cities every time? We just dismissed it as the queen.
There you go.
Was the queen a serial killer? I'm going to go out on a limb and say you can't prove she wasn't. Definitively.
I would like somebody to try and prove definitively that she wasn't.
Get her to tell us she's not a serial killer. If she's not, it's pretty simple. She can just say, I'm not a serial killer.
It's a bit late now, but...
Well, that would be the point.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a fan of the podcast, so it's sad to lose a listener, but
Yeah, exactly. So, whatever. Most apathetic response to it is the Irish response. People are like, okay. People are more upset because Premier League soccer was called off. So
yeah.
It's like, ugh, woman died. Get over it. Put the football back on.
How am I supposed to mourn without football?
Right. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of which, we had a pretty blasphemous story come out. So a Rangers fan was told that football isn't a religion, as judge brands it a lifestyle choice.
Wow, that is blasphemous. How dare they?
So he lost a discrimination case after a court ruled football isn't a religion. A judge concluded the sport is not a philosophical belief after Eddie McClung claimed his avid allegiance to the Glasgow club was such it would be viewed as a way of life. The landmark case was brought by the subcontractor who claimed he was discriminated against by two firms because he's a diehard fan of the Glasgow club. He sued, claiming his avid allegiance. I don't know why they keep saying the Glasgow club. Just say the Rangers. Was such it should be viewed as a way of life, and that instead of going to church, he went to watch Rangers.
There you go. It's probably as much got as much substance as any other religion. So, you say your prayers to the manager, you give your donations in terms of purchasing the merchandise, and then you attend every Saturday or Sunday.
And you pray for the win.
Seems the exact same.
You pray for your results, your desired results.
Yeah.
You worship players.
Yeah, players get worshipped.
I mean, some of them are no longer there, so they die for your sins.
Exactly. And they are also exalted forever, murals of them painted all over cities and towns. And things like that. You know, statues put up. It seems very religious to me. So
there's the disciples. You have your 11 players.
Yep. And yeah, I think, you know, it seems to me a bit religious. I think he should appeal to the next level, and hopefully he'll get a Rangers fan as a judge who'll give him what he wants. Like, yeah, brother.
Well, it goes on to say that in addition, football fandom does not have larger consequences for humanity as a whole, which is just not right.
It does, though. That's whoever said that. That judge should be struck off immediately.
That judge should be forced to rule over cases that involve hooligans and violence for the rest of their life.
Yeah, why not? Sounds good.
You said that there's no consequences for humanity, and so therefore me beating the shit out of 100 people randomly on the street for their football.
That's a consequence.
Yeah. No, it's not a consequence because you, sir, as a judge, said it's not a consequence.
I guess that's a point, yeah.
The devotion of fans was not deemed to have necessary level of cognancy, seriousness, cohesion, and importance to constitute a philosophical belief such as humanism, pacifism, atheism, or veganism.
Oh, so veganism is a religion now?
Yeah.
But football isn't. Come on.
So you can't discriminate against people for veganism, but you can discriminate against people for their football team.
I think that's wrong. I think that.
And also, like, the whole idea of it, of like, you probably shouldn't just be able to discriminate against people for any of that. Like,
I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a point.
Like, even if it's for something weird, like, I don't know, this person wears black t-shirts, so therefore I'm never associating with them. Like, I'm not going to hire you because you wore a black t-shirt. It does seem like that would be...
Hey, you know, people have been doing it for so many years. Like, you know, like lots of girls are like, I'm not going to go out with you because it's not your Lamborghini you're driving. You know, but give me your boss's phone number. That sort of thing. But yeah, no, I think it's a weird one because it clearly seems like he's being discriminated against. However, the thing I'm taking from this is that veganism is something that has been defined to have the same rights as a religion, which I feel is wrong.
On many levels.
Yeah, on all the levels, you know.
Especially the tasty food levels.
I mean, they just need to just get themselves a good steakhouse. It'll be fine. You know, get yourself a nice steak and then give up the vegan shit. There you go.
Yeah. So the guy said, I live my life in accordance with being a Rangers fan. I don't go to church, I go to Rangers. It's a belief to me. He's a member of Rangers and he receives a birthday card from each year and was recently invited to visit Ibrox to see the Scottish Cup.
Well, there you go. You don't often get a birthday card from Jesus if you're in a religion.
I do.
Well, I got to tell you something about that.
It says he spends most of his income after paying basic house and car bills on games. He normally attends at least 1 or 2 home games every month with the odd away game and cup game. He buys his tickets a couple of weeks in advance so he has something to look forward to. He believes this gets him out to work with a spring in his step, so he is working to pay bills and attend as many games as he can afford. He wakes up buzzing on match days and enjoys the build up to the game. He believes this is a way of life and creates lasting memories, for example, with him and his father and with him and his son. He subscribes to Sky Sports and watches matches, pre- and post-match interviews and podcasts. He never misses a match and considers it a massive part of his life. It motivates him to do/be the best he can.
Wow. It's getting emotional.
Yeah.
He has a subscription to Sky Sports. That's one of the greatest things I've ever heard. Wow.
I was discriminated against because I have a subscription to Sky Sports.
I watch all the games and the build-up and the interviews, all the commercials, everything. Watch it all.
I look at their Facebook. I like their Instagram posts.
I was going to say, does he interact with the Twitter community based around the football?
If not, case denied. Piss off.
Exactly. You know, feel like there's got to be something there to just push him over the edge. But yeah, he sounds like a football fan who's quite devoted to his team, just like anyone is devoted to their religion. So yeah, I say give him whatever he was looking for. What was it, like 25 quid or something?
Well, and then the other side also acknowledged that he was clearly a devoted fan and wished it noted that nothing they said was intended to belittle that or the enjoyment he got from it. So they wanted to be very sensitive to say that they agree that he is a fan.
You have worn your Rangers kit to court today, so we're quite sure you are a Rangers fan.
You've worn your Rangers cock ring to the court.
Being a fully grown man who's wearing a Rangers kit with your own name printed on the back, I feel like you are a fan. Slightly
and I can hear the buzzing of your Rangers butt plug throughout court.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There you go.
And I do accept that your wife does engage in role play where she does pretend to be a player, as that is the only way that you can get off anymore, as you have stated.
I mean, he didn't expect all of this stuff to come out in his court case, but there you go. He had to show his devotion and his full commitment to the club.
Your Honor, I role play to Rangers every night. It's the only way I can keep an erection.
There you go. You know, whatever works for you, man. Whatever works.
Do religious people jack off to their Bible? Well, I jack off to mine. That's why I have my Sky Sports subscription.
I feel like they do, because that's why in every picture of Jesus, he's a super buff dude. He's like super muscly and everything. It's like, there's no need for that. It's kind of gratuitous, but all right.
He has a six-pack and the V going out into the,
Dude is ripped. So, you know.
If you learn anything from this, Jesus is a 10.
Yeah, there you go.
That's, I feel like maybe that was in the Queen's letter.
Probably. I'd imagine so. Let's see if we can live 63 more years to find out.
Yeah. Shame it's not 69, but well, whatever.
Yeah, missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. Well, what's the weirdest thing you've ever found in an apartment building?
In an apartment building? Well, I mean, in terms of items, quite a few weird things. Not to get into it too much, but there was one time moved into a new place, and there was like gay porn, used underwear, and very deep scratches in the wall. So that was just a combination of those three were like kind of weird.
Yeah, but I mean, if the delivery guy beats you there, your stuff's going to arrive before you.
It's a good point, actually. It's a good point. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing. But yeah, nothing too weird. So, not so far.
All right. Well, the teenage son of an Upper East Side in New York superintendent. So superintendent is like the building manager, I think, in or something like that in New York. Allegedly snuck into a tenant's bedroom, then masturbated using her underwear while sniffing another pair.
Nice.
So, I mean, sounds like she was lucky.
I mean, you know, that would be a weird thing to find, to come home and see somebody in your bed masturbating with your underwear.
Sniffing another pair.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. This was a teenager?
Yeah, 19.
All right. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, it can be tried as an adult, but so you need to be careful not to get caught with this.
Big difference there, yeah.
So,
especially because he's being arraigned on charges of second-degree burglary as a sexually motivated felony.
whoa. Sounds like pretty serious charges.
Yeah, well, he allegedly entered the victim's bedroom while she was not home and rummaged through her underwear drawer, unaware he was being filmed on a home security video. Now, if you're unaware that people have cameras...
Yes. This is 2022. People have cameras, particularly in like very expensive rental areas, like say the Upper East Side of New York. So, yeah, should have been aware of that. But maybe he was cool with it. Maybe he wanted to be filmed, and ended up on porn.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a revenge porn on him.
It does.
Did they get his consent to film him in sexual acts?
That's the thing. Yeah, can this be used in evidence when he didn't give approval or consent for his masturbation to be filmed?
Yes. It says he returned about a half hour later and pleasured himself using one pair of underwear while holding another pair up to his nose and face. A roommate who noticed the apartment was in disarray checked the footage with the super, and the super identified it as his son. Now, that's got to be awkward. Imagine going to the person and saying, hey, someone's broken in, been masturbating and sniffing with panties. And the guy watches it and he's like, that's my son.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah. I'm pretty sure family dinner that week was a bit awkward.
Very awkward because he lives in the building with the family. So
what everyone get up to today? Well, I did something new.
How was your morning? Also, that's got to be pretty awkward. Like if you get in the lift and how are you? How's my underwear?
I wonder, do you get a discount on your rent that month if the super's got to cut you some sort of deal, right? Be like, sorry, my son jerked off in your pants. you got $500 off this month.
And I like the itemized receipt where it says masturbation discount.
That's the exact wording it has to say, is masturbation discount.
You would hope so.
Yeah. It goes on the record for the reference for your next place. Received masturbation discount.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think in New York they have like really strict things to like get apartments and people have to approve you and whatever. So that's going to be a nightmare. Like to get an apartment if you've been caught masturbating with people's underwear in your building.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I don't think. I think people are going to look down on that one, so it might be difficult. But yeah, at the same time, you gotta live with your kinks and do what you can. So
yeah, just buy them next time.
There's plenty of people selling them, so that's it's better than ending up in jail.
Yeah. While the next story, a Sexpert shares 5 words that ruin sex and should be avoided at all costs. Can you guess them?
I'm going to go with your sister didn't like that. Or your sister does it different or something like that. About your sister.
That's not here, so obviously that doesn't ruin the mood because she hasn't said that.
Good times.
Neither does give me the Rangers butt plug.
Yeah. What else could there be like?
She. Well, I mean, hers are pretty shit, actually. I want you to come.
Okay. I will. Just wait for it. Be like,
you ruined everything.
Don't rush me. God damn it, woman.
So you feel like a spooked deer if someone says that. Apparently.
Really? All right. All right. That's yeah.
Well, you learn something new every day.
It's pretty much someone saying, "Would you hurry the fuck up and finish? This is going on too long. My shows are about to start, and my next appointment isn't ready." So
I have the perfect one. Give me back my panties.
That'll do it. It's like, no, I'm keeping them.
Yeah. So, well, then this next article is Savage Ways People Got Revenge on Cheaters.
Okay.
So I think we covered this one last time, but someone played their sex tape at the wedding. Trying to wait until the thing. Yeah. Although I don't think it was in the last article, and we certainly can't show it, but there is a blurred out version of the actual sex tape in this.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like we should show it. It'll take the popularity of the podcast up by 1,000%.
Yeah. The next one is someone who threw their cheating husband's or boyfriend's suitcase into a pool in the hotel.
Okay. That's, sufficient rage, but also only a minor inconvenience because it's not all your stuff. It's just the stuff you brought with you. So that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, then the next one is she lost 14 stone, which I mean is fine and all and great for you, but also the person probably still doesn't care.
Is it like she got hot again? She was like, well, fuck you. I'm going to lose all this extra weight I've been carrying for the last couple of years. I'm going to get super hot and I'm going to fuck all your friends. Because that would work. That would piss people off.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know. Most people probably just don't care if you lose weight. It's like, good for you. I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much. I think, yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah, then the next one is our cheating ad, which we also covered. This is like a compilation of things we've already covered. But anyway, a man sold his ex's wedding dress for £5. He listed the size as fat.
I mean, there was no coming back from that anyway, so.
It also says that it would be perfect for a cheap slapper.
Nice. And someone bought it for £5.
Yeah, I mean, if that was your size, that is dreams come true. Like, save a few grand on a wedding dress.
Yeah, why not? Also, just it would give you permission to like throw your diet out just before your wedding. You'd be like, fuck it, eating burgers and ice creams all the time till I fit the dress. So
yeah,
bonus.
As you would know.
That's all I do to get into dresses, so.
Yeah. Well, apparently there is a news story right now that arrests are being made outside Buckingham Palace as people are clashing over mourning the Queen, and a man was even glassed outside the Buckingham Palace.
I mean, they must be getting pretty bored just standing there. It's not like there's a band coming on or anything to entertain them. They're just standing in front of a big castle that they're not allowed into. So, boredom took over. A couple of fights break out. Pretty cool experience then. So, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so some guy grabbed another guy's wine bottle, and then people started to yell and give it back to him. And then the guy just turned and smashed it on the back of the guy's head.
Completely irrational behavior. Just like, yeah, he's got it back now. Fuck him.
Yep. Just the odd. If you're upset about, like why go to mourn her death if you don't agree with it? Just like you don't like the Queen, then don't care. Like
yeah. You don't have to go and stand outside the castle because just do your own thing. It's all good. I don't know. People are fucking weird. So.
Yeah. Well, how do you avoid hangovers?
Well, there's occasionally, like on a Monday or something, I just won't have any alcohol. And then the next day, zero hangover. Aside from that, I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet.
Otherwise, you can always smash a wine bottle over someone's head outside Buckingham Palace instead of drinking it.
That works. Yeah, for sure.
Well, this psychic claims that she can work her magic on alcohol so she won't get a hangover. So she's a spiritual healer and psychic medium, has cracked the hangover case. She so supposedly grounding, also called earthing, is a technique that connects you back to earth through the electrical charges. These charges are seen to have positive effects on the body. She explained, how I ground alcohol before drinking as a psychic medium. I don't drink often, but these are the steps I take if I do choose to have a drink. Just like how we ground ourselves, it's also possible to ground other things and give them space to release. I ground everything: my phone, my computer, my home, my animals, my food, my drinks. There can be a lot of low vibrational energy surrounding alcohol and the places and people where alcohol is consumed. As a medium who is very sensitive to energy, I clear unwanted energy out before drinking. So this is what you've been doing wrong all these years. You should have been clearing out the next time you're in a pub, you should take your shoes off, stand there, and then just hum or whatever and close your eyes before you get a pint and say, excuse me, I'm grounding the alcohol away so I will not be getting a hangover.
Yeah, I think it sounds fascinating. And I think people wouldn't look at you like you were on drugs if you did that in the pub. I think they'd be totally like, I know what he's doing. He's clearing the vibrations. Yes. So yeah, sounds good.
What if your bartender got a parking ticket? Because she says we absorb energy like sponges. Think about if your bartender got a parking ticket, their frustrated energy could be in your drink that you then absorb and carry. And that's why you're getting hangovers. So next time you get a hangover, you go back to the bar and you tell that bartender, oi, dickhead, you get your energy under control. You're giving me hangovers with your negative energy. Now I need you to stand here and take your shoes off, go walk outside and stand in a park and ground your energy so that I won't get a hangover.
Yeah. That's I just love that idea. Just walking in and be like, hey, dickhead. I'm a fucking hangover because of you. And he thinks he knows what's happening. He's like, because you gave me all the drink. No. Nothing to do with that. It's just to do with your energy when you were pouring the drinks.
Yeah. Yesterday you had a bad energy and it gave me, I absorbed it through the alcohol and then now look at me.
It's disgraceful.
Yeah. Imagine writing reviews on like Google or whatever, TripAdvisor, anything like that. Reviewing pubs about the energy of the bartenders and the level of hangover you get as a result of their terrible.
I think it's long overdue.
Yeah.
So it has to be done.
She says, I ground my drink by visualizing a grounding cord growing out from the bottom of my drink all the way down to the core of the earth. From there, I will bring 3 gold suns, in brackets a psychic tool, through the top of the drink and out through the grounding cord. I set the intention of the gold suns to clear out any energy that is not my own or of the highest and greatest good.
All right. I mean, hey, if it works for her.
She says it takes less than a minute and will have a huge impact on your energy. Try it next time you drink. I rarely drink, but this helps me a lot.
Does she drink like 1 or 2 drinks and then it's like, oh, wow, I haven't got a hangover. Look at me. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't get a hangover from 1 drink or 2 drinks anyway, lady. So,
well, if the hangover came from the way the bartender poured the drink and they were upset about their parking ticket, wouldn't it be irrelevant if you had alcohol? And wouldn't people be getting hangovers from a coffee or from a Coke if it was just from the energy of your bartender?
I mean, if you want to think about it logically and scientifically, then yes. But if you want to think about it and get some press, then no. It's clearly just the alcohol that does this. But yeah, you know, I feel like I won't try that technique anyway. I feel like I'm all good with the golden suns taking away the energy.
Yeah. Well, I think from now on, you just need, anytime you're in a pub, you need to ground the energy of the bartender before you take a drink and tell them, look, I don't give a shit that you got overly pounded by your partner's strap-on last night. You need your energy better or I'm going to get a hangover.
What about if you're drinking on a plane and the stewardess or the steward or whoever's bringing you your beer, and you've got to envision a cord going through the center of the earth from the plane? That's got to be dangerous. So, you know.
I mean, if you're in the sky, you can't ground, so you're pretty much screwed. You're getting the hangover.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, they say that you get more affected by alcohol in the air, and I think we found out why.
There you go. We're cracking another one. So.
Yeah, this is basically a science podcast here.
It is. That's where it originated. So.
Yeah, so. We do our experiments and, well, on the note of the flying and whatever, air hostesses says flight attendants join the Mile High Club with pilots who use a clever excuse. Do you want to guess what the excuse is?
They're horny.
I'm grounding. I'm grounding your cockpit.
Or the pilot's like, if you don't have sex with me right now, I'm going to crash this plane. And
I have bad energy. I need you to ground me right now through your vagina.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason to become a pilot, is all the sex you have with the air hostesses. And
all the excuses you get to insist that they have to do it right now.
Yeah, for professional reasons, obviously.
Yes. I don't want to do this, but this is part of my job and we're all going to die if you do not have sex with me in the toilet right now.
Yeah, it's the plane's fault, not mine.
Yeah.
I really wish we didn't have to do this, but...
This wasn't a 747, we'd be fine, but unfortunately this is a 747, so...
There you go.
We're going to have to get into the toilets and you're going to have to ground me.
There you go.
So an air hostess opened up about her job in the skies and claims that pilots and flight attendants get frisky on the regular, which I believe, like, of course they're going to. But they created a post where people can ask anything. So it says, okay, I only had sex on a plane once with myself. However, I had the opportunity a few times. Whenever a pilot has to pee or the flight attendant has to go into the flight deck, so there are always 2 people in there at all times. Often pilots will use this as an excuse to join the Mile High Club with the attendants. And apparently it's more common for the crew to get jiggy together or with strangers when on a layover in a hotel. which again, obviously, because it gets lonely on the road. Only thing is your new bedmate has to do the walk of shame in the morning past your crew.
I mean, I don't see that being a problem. Like, you know, you're going to be like, all right, this is the hotel I'm staying at every time I fly. I'll go put some air hostesses. I like it. So
don't judge me. I was only grounding.
You know, I feel like it's a good time for everybody. It definitely improves the rating that the airline gets, and the customer service is going to get a thumbs up. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's the worst thing that can happen to you on death row?
On death row? Well, I don't know. I presume like they fuck up your last meal. Sorry, we couldn't get you Kentucky Fried Chicken. We got you Crunchy Fried Chicken instead. It's like, fuck.
I ordered a medium rare steak, and this is clearly medium.
I guess my execution's put off till tomorrow.
If you can't get me a perfectly medium steak, I refuse to allow you to execute me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a drunk death row executioner forgot restraints as a killer was bashed himself to death.
Say what now?
So a death row inmate bashed himself to death after his executioner forgot to use the restraints properly because he was drunk.
I mean, you know, it still worked out. They still got the results they were looking for.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, the guy did kill a 3-year-old, so maybe he kind of deserved it.
I think so. Sounds like he did, yeah.
He indulged his final meal, which consisted of Mexican food, strawberries, and milk, which is a bloody odd order.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Wow.
I'll have a salad because I'm watching my weight.
You know what's happening after the meal, right? No.
I'll have a chocolate and a steak mixed together, and a large strawberry milk
and 3 strips.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just
that'd be my last meal. I want some pussy.
Come on, man, it's my last day.
Been dying to eat some pussy in here. Sure.
You know, prison's like fucking sausages everywhere.
I mean, there's got to have been. I mean, I'm sure that many prisoners have made that joke for sure, right?
They have to have. If they didn't, they're a big fucking letdown.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just remember that if you're watching from death row, make that joke.
As most of them do.
Yeah.
What was meant to be a simple execution turned into a botched nightmare after the required head restraint wasn't used. He remained seated in the death chair as he relentlessly bashed his head on a metal bar until he knocked himself unconscious. Now, I mean, I feel like if you're going to murder children, they should be accidentally forgetting the restraint anyway.
I mean, there's going to be very little sympathy for this person because of that. So yeah, you know, I hope it hurt like hell. There you go. That's all you can say, really.
Well, he was still alive 8 minutes into the execution. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty brutal. 15 people got to watch him gasp 11 times and said he started to moan as they saw him fight helplessly in the chair. The scenes were so horrific that the officials decided to remove witnesses from the room. You probably would stop the thing first, I think.
Yeah. It seems pretty bad.
Yeah.
everybody leave, please. We've seen. I mean, maybe turn off the thing. No. Okay.
No. We're not gonna. I mean, it does kind of say that maybe the fact that this story that this guy was drunk was like their cover, and maybe they actually were like, this guy, we're gonna get you, and like, yeah.
I mean, you would think that this sort of thing is probably happening during the day, like on a Tuesday afternoon or something. So him being drunk is wildly inappropriate for someone with a responsible job. You know, just turning up, be like, sorry, I'm pissed. I'll still do it, but it's
maybe he was called in. He was out drinking, and they called him in, and he had to cover someone else's shift. And
also, some jobs just need two people. You gotta. That's why the pilots, they have to keep two people in the flight deck at all times, even if one of them's fucking the air stewardess. You have to have two people, so you need somebody to back him up and just double check his work.
Yeah.
So,
well, the father of the kid did say, "I'm glad it's happening. It should have happened years ago." So
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds about right. You do something evil like that. There you go. You're going to get, I mean, you got your strawberries in your milk, for fuck's sake. Now it's time to
bash your head against the
bar a few times. Yeah. Fuck.
Some level of, justice.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. Well, so we'll finish on this. A career advisor shares the toxic 3-word phrase employers should never use at work. Can you guess it?
The employees or employers?
Employers.
Oh,
you can guess both if you want.
I think for employers, I think if they just write up a big sign that says "wank at home," that's a mood killer right there.
Yeah.
Something like that, or yeah, I don't know. That'd be the mood killer. I work from home, by the way, so it's all good. But
no Rangers fans.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably something that sounds like it should be positive or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's always it's not going to be suck my dick.
Although in my office, but it's probably something like unlimited time off or something, because that's actually just a scam. So or $5 for water. We talked about that before. I don't know. What else have we got?
I'm drunk.
Yeah, that works.
Well, Jennifer Brick from New York said, using the expression, we're a family.
Ugh. Yeah.
What if you work in a family business, though?
Still hate the fuckers you work with. No, it's one of those like startup speak kind of things. Like, oh, we're a family. No, we're not. We just work together because we fucking have to, because we're trying to make some money. But yeah, because then you get those like, let's go on a company or what is it, like a team building experience. You're like, I'd rather just go out with my actual friends, or not my boss and have to be on good behavior. Like, fuck that. So yeah, I'm down with that one. I think that's a bit of a ridiculous one.
Because it's a false sense of belonging.
It's just a false sense of everything, because if you fuck up your job, they're going to disown you by firing you. Your family pretty much have to stick with you no matter what you do. So,
and look, a lot of people like to have sex with the people they work with.
True.
So it just makes it weird.
Can you imagine if they actually designate you our brother and sister? Fuck that. Been chasing her for weeks.
Yeah, in the interview, if they're like, we're pretty much family here, and you're like, well, that ruins everything. The only reason why I'm getting a job here is because I want to have sex.
Yeah. So Yeah, but I mean, they do it everywhere. They're like, oh yeah, we're a team. We're more than a team. We're a family. No, we're not. And if we are, you're the pedophile uncle. So you don't want to push that narrative.
We are a family, and I'm underage, so
Oh yes, great times.
We're a family, and yeah, we're gonna get it on like a family. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the people that sing "We Are Family" think about it.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna feel slightly differently to the rest of us. I don't know, but I think they were pretty fucked up anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. I worked in a couple of places where they've had that, and it's like, yo, we're going for Friday drinks together as a family. No, we're not. We're going because you're fucking making us. My family said, hey, it's Friday. We're all going for drinks. I'd tell them to fuck off too. So
the Rangers are on TV.
What are your plans for the weekend? Not thinking about this shitty fucking job. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing like how much of that stupid game you have to play where pretending like, oh yeah, I'm going to be working at night. I'm going to be thinking at night about this while I jack off to the Rangers game.
Oh yeah, what did you do over the weekend? Oh, I went to an orgy on Friday night, and I've been having this weird itch ever since. So, anyone any ideas? Yeah, there's some things you don't need to know at work. So
I had a lot of good thoughts about work while I was in the middle of that orgy.
Carol, there was a chick looked just like you. Terrible blowjobs though. So there you
Not
go.
very grounded either. So you're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah. So it's a fun time.
Maybe it's work's fault for not being grounded. If they were grounded, then yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about all this.
I think more jobs should come with the option of just having like 4 or 5 beers throughout the day, and then just by the end of the day you won't give a fuck, and if it is like a family, a fight will start and everyone will be distracted and work will be much more entertaining for everybody. So
we're like a family, we're inbred. We're like a family that likes incest.
It's like a Pornhub family. Everyone's fucking everyone else.
It does actually remind me of a video I saw this week, which may actually be one of my favorite videos ever of on YouTube. But yeah, by this guy Danny Mullen, where they did fake job interviews, and the job, and so they told people that they were filming social media stuff, right? So people come in and they're like, "This is a sales job. Well, we want you to watch this video to understand the company." And like the thing goes straight into like, "Hi, I'm Danny, and I'm here to tell you that I get a lot of pussy." And the job was literally to go tell people that these two guys get a lot of pussy. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we got a lot of money from falling down some stairs, and so we got a big payout, so we're invested in this." But then they actually go and take people out onto the street to go tell people that these two get a lot of pussy. And so like they actually do like trial jobs of it to tell people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you because it is
cool.
Just genuinely godly level of and it really inspires you to want to just hire people for dumb things.
I thought you said get a lot of. I thought you were going to say get a lot of pussy. It inspires you to get a lot of pussy. So just don't tell the wife. It's all good.
And at one point they actually show like the guy getting a blowjob from his girlfriend and like talking about it. And then like the guy's girlfriend is also like the receptionist. So like at one point he's like being like really like direct with her and shit and whatever. And yeah, it's just, yeah. It's like multi-level marketing of telling people that they get a lot of pussy.
Nice. That's the kind of workplace I want to work in.
Yeah.
Why didn't we come up with this business before? This sounds like something we could have brainstormed. We had a couple of good brainstorming ideas about businesses before.
Yeah. Our new multi-level marketing business yeah. But it has inspired me to think of like things that you can get like call centers to do. And I will be exploring that.
Excellent. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Because you can hire call centers on and actually, one thing that I did have in mind was like we hire a call center person to call into the show and just be obnoxious with them.
I mean, that could work. Yeah. That could be fun.
Like we just have guests, but then we only do like the most ridiculous stories of, I don't know, pro incest or whatever. Or
I mean, Pornhub make it look fun, so it's always different the angles you look at it from. So we can do that. But it'd be interesting to see at what point they just say fuck this and hang up, because they will. That's
I don't know, because this is the part with the this job interview. They got the people to stay for a fair while.
Did they? Fuck.
Yeah, and then they even used one of them to prank another person who came along.
No way, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. I swear it's like the most underrated video. It only has 300,000 views. And when I say only has 300,000 views, it is godly.
Cool. Yeah, looking forward to it. I'll check it out in a bit and see. Yeah. But it sounds pretty cool. All right. So be fun. Maybe I can bring it to my boss and be like, hey, I got an idea. Got an idea for a new branch of the business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was asking for new ideas. So I'd be like, I got a great idea. Here's a link. Be like, oh, that was just, I was going to say that one for later, but all right.
I need you to tell everybody.
Yeah, it would work. It'd be cool.
Yep. Well, on that note, it's important that everyone you meet this week, you tell that you get a lot of pussy.
I will try. I just sneak it into conversation there. It's like, but
so yeah, as a company, we're family. Well, funny you mention that. I get a lot of pussy.
Speaking of family. Oh, Jesus. I know we're already guaranteed to be going to hell, but yeah, it's getting worse every week.
Yep.
We're just making sure of it further and further. It's all good. Good times. All right, man. Well, I will bear that in mind. Tell everyone I meet this week. But
yes, spread the word.
I will indeed. Yeah.